Here's to the ladies. Here's to the ladies. Here's to the ladies who brunch.
Welcome back, divas.
It's just us.
It's just us and our girls.
And our girls. So we mentioned it in our first episode, but we were still getting kind of new...
Situated.
Claro. Situated, claro. Also, we're drinking mimosas. Cheers.
Oh!
Also, we did set a timer in 30 minutes to get more mimosas, so...
And we'll have an ad break.
We'll have an ad break.
Yeah.
Should we do a fake ad?
Yes!
Well,
no.
we can record one.
We
no,
should.
You'll look forward
Never
to
mind.
it. Forget that. Obliviate. Okay, the divas behind us. These were the divas that are on my record wall, and our setup, I think, is getting a little... We're shifting. We're figuring it out. We're in previews.
We're finding another work. We are in previews.
We're on previews. Opening night is soon, though.
2025 is opening night.
Starting from my right, famously, have I told you about how I don't know my right from left?
Yeah, you didn't have to tell me. Me in a car with Sammy. Turn left. Oh.
I have to kick my
Sammy,
leg a little bit.
Hands off the wheel.
I have to kick my leg a little bit because I know that my right leg kicks higher.
It does. That's true.
It's true. So I have to go like this. Anyway, starting from the right, we have
This is my iconic queen.
Marla Mendel, skrelting literally in CCM. What room
Literally.
is this in?
This is in, I don't know the room.
That like recital hall none of us were allowed
Recital
to
hall that
use.
we weren't allowed to use it. Oh
Heather
my god.
Headley as Aida.
As Aida.
Right after Dance the Robe, she has decided that she is going to take on the decision of being the leader of her people, and she knows expectations are wild and almost beyond her fulfillment, but they won't hear a word or a... I don't remember.
And let's contrast that with Marla Mendel, who is literally singing the line, "Listen up, freshmen, or you'll get cut!"
Both equally as important pieces of art.
You said it.
Next,
not me.
we have Ivy Lynn. Need we say more?
Did we say more? You thought you could
Dispose of her?
You
You can't dispose of her. You know who I need to see? I need to see Ivy Lynn as Mama Rose. Not Megan Hilty as Mama Rose, Ivy Lynn.
And let us not forget that there's a connection between these two characters. How could you forget? I'll hang the moon.
I'll hang the moon. Hang the moon.
Honestly, that came to me.
Do you know what other song she eats up in that series? 'Cause the stars that you're living for are at your feet. Yeah.
Yes.
She eats that one, and when she does,
And she's an
everything's coming up
athleisure.
roses.
In a
Yes.
majority of the show, she's an athleisure.
That was such gag. We have Bernadette Peters as Dot.
One of the most important performances of all time.
Literally right here, she's giving you, and if you want bread and respect.
This is
and
good
attention."
impression.
Do I have a good Bernadette?
It's pretty good.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Next, we have our Queen Babs.
Mm-hmm.
As Dolly Gallagher Levi. I believe that's her name.
I don't know that. I don't know that
Before
show
the
like
parade
that.
passes by. Can I just say, while we have our divas and they are actresses, they are actresses.
Mm-hmm.
The only one that is not the actress is her. This is
Oh.
in the sense that in the sense
that
I would never. I mean, this is Marla Mendel.
Well, I
This
guess
is,
we'll literally never have Megan Hilty
no,
on
no,
the
no.
podcast.
Megan Hill. I never would say that. What I mean is that's Marla Mendel in CCM. That's Heather Headley as Aida. That's Ivy Lynn. That's Bernadette Peters as Dot. That's Barbara Streisand
I see what
as
you're
Hello
saying.
Dolly. Megan Hilty is the actress
of all time.
but that's not Megan
She's the
Hilty.
GOAT.
She's the goat. Well, I'm the greatest of all time, the goat. But that's on our wall. That's not Megan Hilty. That's Ivy.
That
Lynn.
is Ivy Lynn.
If we wanted Megan Hilty, I'd have to get another picture.
And it would be probably her in Death Becomes Her.
Should we talk about that? Because
Oh my god, yeah, we should talk about that.
So we saw Death Becomes Her, still technically in previews, but I think late previews.
It is so good.
It's
It just
so
opened.
good.
No, it just
Oh,
opened. Yeah, it just opened.
That was my second time. That was Jake's first time.
Oh my god, guys. It is. Oh my god, guys.
Should we talk about our favorite moment and do it physically on 3?
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
And if you know, you know.
Just say that it's in the opening number.
For the gays.
For the gays. And Megan Hilty hits 1, 2, 3.
It's so good. Wait, should we give a spoiler alert?
Spoiler alert for Death Becomes
Skip
Her.
like 10 seconds.
Right here. keep going, keep going, keep
Wait,
going.
10 more seconds.
She quick changes on stage into a full-on Dorothy Gale costume change, but not like
After doing a couple backflips.
right, Megan Hilty, but not like Dorothy Gale. Like, oh, she looks like Dorothy. Full lace front wig Dorothy.
Full like pigtails,
Pigtails,
blue checker dress, red ruby slippers.
socks,
Clock that T.
and then she catches a Toto stuffed animal from the orchestra.
Conductor. Take a sip. Find it.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
That's the opening number
That is for the gays.
for the gays.
For the gays.
Spelled Gaize.
Mhm.
From then on, we knew we were in safe hands. Let's also talk about Jen Samard.
She really is a legend of our time, a voice of a generation, and an actress for the ages.
Comedic. Her.
I ate that.
Her in the asylum.
Talking like this.
La 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 la. Piece of string, little man.
The movie, if you've not seen the movie, I watched the movie the day before, or the day of.
Yeah.
We went, and the movie is just so good, too.
Do you know what I also found interesting? You asked me, you were like, how are they going to do, if you know the movie, Jen Samard, Goldie Hawn's character, kind of goes through it in the first half where she kind of goes crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But in the movie, they make a pretty problematic fat joke in the sense that like they put her in a massive fat suit and they make it about her weight.
Yeah.
And her mental decline as well. Both.
Mm-hmm.
She checks herself into an asylum. Talk normal. And so basically Jake was like, are they going to do that? That's a little, problematic. And I was like, they do it in a way.
Yeah, they don't really touch on it.
But they do it.
Yeah.
And they keep the comedy without making like a fat joke, which I appreciated. You know what I mean?
It's more just about her being disheveled and
right.
going through it. It's more about making fun of her mental illness.
That's what I was kind of trying not to say. Is like, well, mental illness is funny.
That's literally what it is doing, though.
Michelle
Not saying that we
Williams?
condone that. Michelle Williams, there are multiple times where Michelle Williams, and I shit you not, will literally enter downstage right and just walk across to stage left.
Scream.
She won't even be. No, sometimes she's singing, sometimes she's just walking, and she'll walk, and everyone's like this. Yes, mother, yes.
Do you know what's one of my favorite parts that I always forget about when I think about how many amazing gay things happen in this show? Her coming down on the hospital thing when she's like, "Did you enjoy your act too?
Yes.
Are you here for the news?"
And she sounds amazing.
She sounds amazing.
Wait.
Beyonce?
Well, yes, but I was going to say, let's get into the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade because I have a lot of thoughts on those
I
performances.
didn't watch all the performances. Shout out to y'all for doing it in the rain.
Shout out to y'all doing the rain. Multiple people it was a slip and slide down. These people were twisting, twerking. I almost said twinking.
Title of that twisting,
twisting.
We'll find it.
We'll find it. And it'll be good when you see it.
Crazy.
But they were falling all over the place. The thing about Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, this year I actually appreciated some people sang live. Like
Jennifer Hudson.
Jennifer Hudson sang live. I think there was actually a person in like the Broadway. I don't think Michelle Williams sang live. But I get that. That makes sense. Like, you're outside. You're gonna hear the wind.
Having
you can't
to
have
do
all
sound
them singing live.
check, like
Yeah. But the lip syncing got better. Is getting better. That Michelle Williams is just an icon.
Right.
But a lot of these I just don't know how I feel about. I feel like we need to revamp the way we do these Macy's Thanksgiving Day performances.
I
on Broadway.
agree.
Like, why don't we do it in the theaters?
Well, I think it's CBS.
Didn't they do that? CBS does that,
There's
right?
one of the networks that does it in the theaters, and I always prefer those.
I would much rather prefer that.
I also, do you know what's interesting? For me, and I'm kind of just coming to this
To me?
now. To me, this is my opinion. It's just my opinion.
Brace yourselves.
I prefer when the Tonys do one number, they're like, this is the best number in our show, here it is, and the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade does a little smorgasbord medley. Mm-hmm. Because to me, maybe it's the fact that they're in the theater, so I feel like I don't know. I just get so during the Tonys, I feel like they're trying to sell me the show, and I mean, I'm lucky enough that half the time I've already seen it, so I'm just like, whoa. Versus the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, I think, is the time to sell the show, and also kind of gives it like, we're celebrating together our show versus like.
I think Broadway shows need to do a better job of just doing more things, more things from the show. That is, like for example, like Megan Hilty and Jenna Samard, maybe they'll do their song of the performance because the Tony Awards did Michelle Williams.
Did you?
I got something you would die for.
Which she ate. But do
She
you,
ate.
do you know that performance from Ragtime?
Take a breath.
Mimosa.
I know. I've been burping too. You guys are really
You're in
true
for a treat.
fans for us, like constantly burping on this podcast. From us
There's
drinking.
that Ragtime performance where they did it in front of the Statue of Liberty, and I thought that was beautiful.
Oh, I love that. I've never seen that.
It's
My favorite
gorgeous.
Macy's Thanksgiving Day performance, in case you guys are wondering. Stop
Mm-hmm.
asking. It was Young Frankenstein.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That one's so good. The Transylvania Mania.
Uh-huh.
Amazing show. Revive it.
Revive it.
Revive it. Who would we put in it?
Shit.
We'll find it,
I'd
and
have
we'll
to
come back to this later.
That's a great stunt casting opportunity.
I love that. I love that show. The show is so good. Please don't touch my tits. Please don't
Who would be that?
Mega Mullally.
She's perfect.
Just bring her back.
Oh my god. Okay.
Oh.
Let me drink my drink.
Well, while you're drinking your drink,
Mm-hmm.
I think I have a list of things that I think we should get into today.
Okay.
It's a quite expansive list. The first thing I actually do want to start with, I think we need to just honor Gavin Creel.
Yeah.
That is, what was it, yesterday that they
Yeah.
they did the
Memorial.
for him, and tonight they are dimming the lights for him. And I don't know, I just think that he was such an important figure in a lot of, especially like young male identifying.
He really was for
performers.
you. Like
For-
I mean,
for a lot of people,
he was
though.
for me too. I'm not trying to be
I
like
mean, everybody's saying, "What do I need with love, girl?"
right. Of course. Like oh my gosh, he was for me. But I
It's just sad.
know especially from the way you perform too. Like you can tell he was very influential for you.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just so sad to think about that. But
Yeah. It doesn't
anyways,
feel real to me still.
it
Like,
doesn't
whenever
feel
I see
real.
the
Like, when I
posts-
saw that, I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god!"
I think it really is such a shame. I mean, such a shame. That's not the right words. It's a tragedy. It's just
No,
like,
it is. I mean, it's
yeah.
just it's just sad.
He was-
period. Because the world is robbed of him
so
in
much art.
these years.
Right,
You
right,
know what
right.
I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like these iconic years where he could have been all these other he has had so much more to do.
He had so much more to do.
And so we honor him here,
Yeah,
truly.
we do love him.
And I would tonight. I want to go. I
Yeah,
think we should
yeah.
go. We're gonna go to happy hour after this, and I think we should go. Maybe
See
maybe
the
we go.
lights dim.
Maybe we go happy hour in Midtown and then go see the lights dim.
I would
love to
to
be
do
there for that.
Me too.
Anyways, okay, let's move on. Any gagging tea you have? I guess I have something that this is a hard enough
This
turn.
is not really gagging tea, but I'll say this. Shout out to Allie if you're listening to this week's episode. I met her at Pearl Studios today, and she said she was a fan. That bleh. She said she listened to the podcast, which I.
She's a listener. She's a diva.
listener. She's a diva. Which she said her and her mom listen, and
Aw.
that was so kind.
My favorite thing is when I'm not trying to. This is literally put all that aside.
Right.
But there are multiple times where I'll be walking around like in Ripley or
Uh-huh.
sometimes just like in a restaurant or something, and people will be like, "Oh my god, I know someone who listens to your podcast," or like, "I listen to this podcast," blah blah, and it's so sweet and so fun.
We're not like Chapel Roan. You can come talk to us.
Yeah, we're
Title of that,
definitely
but we're not like
we're
Chapel Roan.
definitely not even. Can you imagine?
Speaking of,
if we were genuinely like, "Don't talk to us."
don't talk to me. So, not to
Ah.
speak ill, but you just brought up Ripley Greer. MFK. Ripley Greer Open Jar Pearl.
I'm gonna F Ripley Greer because it's crazy. I'm gonna marry. What was the open?
Open Jar.
I'm gonna kill him. Open Jar, and that's no
What?
tea. I'm gonna marry Pearl Studios because Pearl Studios just is like giving that bitch to me.
I hardcore disagree.
What? Okay, this is actually a good poll for our divas.
I'm
We'll put it
married-
on our story. We got to up our story game. We
We
got to
do.
start doing polls. I also want to do this new thing. What do you guys think? I want to do this new thing where I put something on our story where it's like, hey, ask questions or tell us something that's gagging you, and then we'll talk about it. We should do that
We
right
should do
now.
takeovers.
Oh my God, people like can take over our Instagram.
Oh no, I was saying it's just us.
Wait, just
Wait,
us
we should do takeovers for other people. But I was saying just us. Could you imagine like this? Hi guys, I'll be
Can
taking
you
over
imagine-
the Ladies Who Brunch Instagram
Tomorrow our Caroline Bowman episode drops. Can you imagine if Caroline Bowman's in the morning like, "Good morning, guys. Caroline Bowman, get ready for me for a 2-show day. I'm taking over the Ladies Who Brunch." Can we make that happen?
That'd be
Should
great.
we? What do you guys think? Are you interested?
Um,
Okay, I have something else I want to say.
Well,
Wait,
let me
go
just
on.
finish what I was
Oh
gonna
wait,
say.
you give your answer. Me being like this.
Bitch, the last 2 episodes, the way I've been like this.
No.
Also, can I
We
say
find a
this?
good rhythm.
We do. Can I say this? I'm sorry. PSA, I'm sorry my dogs were out in the last
Dude,
episode.
a lot of comments on his dogs.
I was stressing. I was really nervous. I love Caroline Bowman, and I was really, if you couldn't tell, I was really excited. So I was like deep cleaning my apartment. I was setting up all this stuff. Jake came in and was an angel and just mellowed me out, but I did forget to put socks on. What do you think about my pink ones now? I'm sorry. Okay, answer my question.
FMK.
I'm marrying Open Jar because she's fancy, got money.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've never been. Actually, I've been there a couple times. Wait, isn't that where we did our showcase?
No, that was perfect.
Hmm.
I agree with you that Ripley Greer is crazy, and F Ripley Greer in the good
way. Like it would be fun.
It'd be fun. He's crazy.
Like it would just be like it would just be interesting.
And then I'm sorry, Pearl, you're getting the boot not because of any other reason other than the 2 locations stresses me out. 500, 519, 500, 519, 500, 519. Where am I going?
And shout out to 519. I kind of
Honestly,
feel sorry for you.
But here's the gag. I like 519 more.
I do too, but nobody goes there.
Nope. Everyone wants 500.
Everybody wants 500.
Okay. Back to your list.
I have something I need to say.
Please.
Have you guys seen the Snow White trailer? Have you seen it?
Yes.
And this is a huge boot.
This is a huge
Huge boot. What's going on? What's going on?
Well, can we also start with the fact that I do believe, well, she's stunning. Gal Gadot is one of the worst actresses we have right now.
Really? Okay, I don't have that hot of a take. I'm just like,
Did you
what is
see
she
Wonder Woman?
wearing? I know, I get it. Like it's normal. Like it's like traditional, like evil queen
Sure.
garb. But like, what is she wearing?
Did you see Wonder Woman?
I mean, a long time ago. I mean, I'm only 17 now, so I must have.
I
seen
have
it.
to stop. Ares.
Who's Ares?
Mama. I don't know.
The
but
god of war.
yeah, she had to stop the god of war during
Wait.
war.
So
during
hold
the-
on. So what's going on in that movie? Greek mythology's real?
Yeah, she's an Amazonian woman.
Oh.
But-
why does that have anything to? Oh, because there are. What is that?
What was that?
What is that? That group of women in the Amazon that is in Greek mythology. Find it. Hey, Nate.
Amazonian women.
Yes, but there's a name for them in Greek mythology.
Nymphs?
No. Okay, we're gonna stop there.
Title of that.
Nymphs?
Question mark?
No, but there's like a group of like warrior women that live in the Amazon. I know what you're talking about because Gal Gadot's one of them.
Okay, Snow White looks terrible. Music and lyrics by Pasek and Paul, by the way.
Did not know that.
Yeah. Did
And
you
I'm
not see
sure
the-
that's gonna be fine. Okay,
I don't know.
And here's something. I mean, like you do what you want. I know it's the year of the Bob, but that Bob really is not doing it for me.
What did you want them to do? It's Snow White.
Does she have a Bob?
Do you know what Snow White looks like?
Let me take a picture. I mean, let me ask the audience because maybe I don't, but I
This
was
is
like,
what and listen, I'm not
Snow-
trying to sound like a Snow White apologist because
Right.
I'm not excited for this movie either. But when you said that thing about the Evil Queen, I was like, you mean the Evil Queen outfit from the movie?
I guess she does kind of have a Bob.
Kinda.
Nate, put this here.
She has a bob.
She does. I don't know. It just doesn't look right to me.
Now look up the Evil Queen and look and
I
notice
know,
how
but
much-
I know I know she is wearing what she's wearing.
Right.
But
apparently she has a song too, Gal Gadot.
well, this is gonna be amazing. But listen, when I'm gonna go, I'm gonna be there.
I don't know if I will.
I'll be there. Maybe I'll see it in 4D because you know why I'll be there. Say with me, 1, 2, 3. Andrew.
Eddyville. Oh.
Oh,
Wait, what did you say?
get your mind out of the gutter.
Oh,
get,
oh,
get
the
it into
hot
my,
prince,
and get
the
it
hot
into my
prince.
gutter. Yes, Broadway guy. He was in Camelot.
And The
he-
Inheritance. He's gorgeous.
And yeah, I mean, and here's something. His parents, I think, know Eli's family somehow. And
Right.
Eli met him.
I remember.
And I just think he is just so gorgeous.
He's also a great actor.
He's
like,
so
not to
good.
just
I
objectify
think that-
him. Like he's an amazing actor.
Oh my
too.
God. Well, yes.
Yeah,
well,
Jake,
yes.
fuck you. Way to
I'm not
objectify
objectifying him. I mean, he's stunning. And he's a great actor and he's a great singer because he was also, I think, maybe, and don't quote me on this, was he in The Inheritance?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I knew that. Because I'm smart.
Won the
Anyway,
Tony
so
for it.
anyways, I just don't know how I feel about the Snow White movie. These live action remakes, I'm very scared about. I'm also scared about the Moana movie, the live action remake.
The thing about the Moana movie for me is I really just don't understand. I get the making of live action films of movies of Disney Renaissance and post and pre-Disney Renaissance.
Mm.
You know, the original Snow White was made in 1936. I understand making a live action remake of that. Sure, so we have original IP, yes, but I get it.
Original IP. Yes.
Moana came out in like 2013. And I guess that was 10 years ago, but like What are you talking about, dude? Moana 2 just came out. Why are we Moana live action?
I know. I feel
too?
like I'm I'm overwhelmed with the Moana content.
And I said this at Frozen Backstage, and I got hate for it. Moana is not my favorite Disney princess
That's
movie.
weird because I love Moana.
And I love that for you. And I too love Moana.
We should go see Moana 2. And
I
we
heard
should
it was
see.
horrible though.
I would love to see that in 4D.
Oh, me too. But the gag is, it's just not my favorite. My real problem with Moana, and I guess that is to your point, is that the lack of villain really is difficult for me.
Isn't Tafiti the villain?
Sure, but
then she also becomes
she
the
also
hero.
becomes the mother, quite literally, like of
Mother Earth.
But
Classic.
but the thing is, like, she's not a villain.
Classic.
You know what I mean? She
villainizing
doesn't even
Mother Earth.
speak. She never speaks. I want Ursula. I want Scar.
You want a
I
queer-coded villain.
Hmm.
And that's what we
And
need
let
to play.
that sink in.
And when are you, Disney, going to make a film where we are queer-coded villains? And not even queer-coded. How about this? Just queer villains.
I would love to be a queer-coded villain.
What
with
would
you.
we do?
We would be so funny.
We would be funny. It would be like Flotsam and Jetsam spin-off movie.
Or maybe
Or maybe something different. Sorry, Pain and Panic.
Pain and Panic.
We would be good.
Oh.
Cast us as Pain and Panic in the Hercules movie or musical or anything that you're going to be making about that.
That's a really good idea.
Amazing. Let me mark up the new thing that I love about Notes app is that you can go in and you can make like little checklists. I don't know if this is new, but it's new to me because my phone updated overnight.
You know I didn't know
And
that
so-
was a thing.
I know, so I'm going in and marking off. I have another thing I want to talk about. Are you ready for it?
Mm-hmm.
And this is another like me reading situation.
Read.
Glee.
What about it?
I saw a clip of What Is This Feeling with Kurt and Rachel, and I just like don't know what Glee was. And now that I'm looking back on it, I have just the fondest memories. I used to just have the fondest memories of it, but now looking back, I'm like, what was
She's
that?
a little busted.
It's just crazy, and I don't really get what's going
It had
on.
the best intentions, but damn.
But like, honestly, Glee it couldn't be made today.
No.
But
I think
you know who I do love from Glee?
Who?
Santana.
Oh yeah.
And she needs to be in the Diva Hall of Fame.
Santana.
Naya Rivera.
Naya Rivera. She is. She. Oh wait.
Oh wait, no, yes.
Didn't Audrey induct her?
Audrey inducted her as Santana,
Santana.
Lopez. Amazing.
Look at us.
Look
ahead
at
of
you,
the game.
Audrey. You better work, bitch.
Yeah, I loved Glee. I was a Gleek.
Me
full-
too.
I'll say my favorite episode is the grilled cheese episode. I do love how each one had a
When he sings,
comedic-
"I'll stand by you."
Yes, dude. And Rachel lets him touch her boobs because he prayed to grilled cheeses.
It's amazing.
Like-
and actually, now that I'm looking at it, wait, you guys have just witnessed a journey that I just went
Mhm.
on. I started out loving it, then I was like, what is going on? Maybe it's just that one performance that I just absolutely did not like.
The thing is, it was so jam-packed with moments.
So many
that-
moments.
so many moments and so many horrible moments that
Mm.
you know what I mean? Like you can't. That's why one of my favorite things to do is watch a random episode.
Yeah.
Because it's like you don't know. You might be on someone's most dramatic journey, or you might be on the most comedic journey.
Or you might
don't know
be,
where-
or you might be in a dream sequence.
Or-
There's
or-
many a
right.
dream sequence.
One of the most iconic moments is when Sue Sylvester looks at Mercedes and goes, "What is this?" Holding up a piece of broccoli, and she goes, "Toilet brush." Bitch, what are you talking about?
My favorite part is when she goes, "I've jumped on a ship. Let's go get away." They say what they gotta say.
I still believe that mashup,
I didn't know
with Blaine and
Sue?
Sue, and can I say this? Can I say this? Is this a safe space for me?
It's always a safe space for you.
I'm scared.
Say it. You like Sue Sylvester?
I like Sue Sylvester super bass a lot,
Me too. It's funny and good.
and also she sings down.
And Jane Lynch is an icon,
I mean-
and she needs to be in the Diva Hall of Fame. Sue Sylvester literally opened the Diva Hall of Fame. She's opened it.
Oh yeah, she's a tough cookie to let people in. You know what I mean? I love that version of it, like a lot.
It's
like,
really good.
I there's a world where I've listened to it more than the original.
There actually are a couple songs that, like, when I listen to a song, I want to listen to the Glee cast version, and one of them is Gloria.
And also cough syrup.
Cough syrup is good.
Also,
Blink.
what's the one? Gonna be a heartbreaker when he's a prostitute.
Who?
Rachel's
Oh.
boyfriend in New York.
Oh
That's
my
when
God.
it really went off
And
the rails.
that is my gay queer awakening.
yes.
That season when they live in New York, when they're at, say it with me, Niata, and he walks out of the shower, I literally was like this.
Also, the episode. Well, that same
Amazing.
episode when she's like, "Would you like a little dance after la 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 love you?" At least I think I do.
Is that Rachel?
Yes.
Of course it is.
Also,
when they're on the bus and us just being like, and also.
do you remember when we had the idea? Shout out to Katie Jo if you're listening to this. I don't think you are. But
She's definitely not.
But when we thought that first day of jazz, when the freshmen were there, like there's usually only like a couple freshmen in Jazz 4, and if she was like doing
icons.
pliés and she was like this, stop. Let me show you how it's done. And we all had learned the
Alejandro.
what is it? Americana or
Don't call my name. No, it's Americano.
Americano.
No, it's a mashup.
yes.
I think it's a mashup of Americano and Alejandro.
And they're throwing her around and they're all just dancing
and
at
Rachel's
Rachel.
like this.
If we all did that at the freshmen, how funny would that be?
Guys, that would be.
If we ran a BFA program, we would do that. Like
100,000,000%.
Your first semester,
you would
learn
be
it.
so gagged. You'd walk into dance class, you would be gagged.
It's a
We
little-
would be like this.
It's a literal intimidating flash mob.
Me and
Intimidating flash mob title of that.
Me and Jazz 4 for that one day only, like this. Hi,
Just taking notes.
what's your name? What's your favorite song you're listening to right now?
Right now,
Mm-hmm.
I think I should say it, and then we'll take a little break for our listeners.
I think I know it.
Dear Linda, you are just too good.
We
I don't
should learn to
understand
dance.
it. We can't.
I think I know it through osmosis though.
Do you know what's my favorite moment of the whole dance?
Just too good.
Honestly,
and I will be
well, because there's two dances that that's going viral, or is the first
I like
that
the
middle
second
section.
one.
I like them both, but my favorite moment of the first one is when she moves the books and she goes, "Oh," and it kind of gives the vibe of like the books are so heavy and they moved on their own, and she's like this,
And they're
"Oh,"
all- I know. And she's like,
and then she looks dead at the camera. It's so good.
she's bringing back bleached eyebrows. She really is.
Do you know who honestly I think did influence the look of that design a little bit?
Hmm.
And I'd love to have her on the pod.
Bleached.
Dylan Mulvaney.
Yes,
I do think Dylan Mulvaney had influence over Glinda's
she
look.
did because she went blonde, and I love her.
She
blonde.
not only did she go blonde, she went that color blonde and the platinum. She has platinum brows, right?
Yeah, she definitely.
Like her look
think
to
so.
me.
Maybe for certain looks she did at least.
I wouldn't be surprised if when they were making the makeup vision board essentially of what they wanted Glinda to
Dylan
look
was
like,
on
that
there.
Dylan was on there.
I love Dylan.
You know what I mean? Okay, I think I know what I want to talk about.
What do you want to talk
Jake,
about?
can I ask you a quick question?
No.
Where can I get that hat?
Okay. Oh,
That was a good transition.
this is a good
wasn't it?
transition. This is a good segment B.
Yeah.
Get into
We're
it.
a little weeks behind, but can I give my thoughts and then
Yep.
please,
And I'll
please
give my
give
thoughts.
yours. I didn't get to speak too deeply into my thoughts on Sunset Boulevard proper on this podcast, but I'll give you this. I think it is the best show on Broadway right now.
Mhm.
I think it's maybe the best show on Broadway in the last 5 years,
That's gag.
maybe 10.
I mean, I've never seen it. I mean, I don't want to see it, but that makes me want to see even more.
I will say Nicole Scherzinger is giving, having seen it twice now, the best performance of this season on Broadway, the best performance of the past. When was Color Purple? 2016. So almost 10 years. Almost 10 years since then. Comparable to that performance. Better in a different way. Hers was better in another way. Just they're different.
Hmm.
But that level of performance. Girl, why did you say that? And I'm not getting on the hate train of like boycott and fire her and all of that shit, but I'm like, why did you do that, dude? You had it all going. You were killing it.
Yeah.
Literally. Why did you do that?
It's just silly.
Because here's the thing. I'll still stand by this and say it's still the best performance I've ever seen. I still think she should win the Tony. I still think that the show should be as successful as it is because it's not political art. It has nothing to do with what happened in the election. I also really do, maybe it's just my bias, I do believe it's just a stupid comment that she really meant like put Jesus first again because she's very religious and she just didn't think about the implications of the Trump of it all. Maybe she didn't. Who knows? The statement wasn't great, but like whatever, dude. Also, like she's so good. She's so
Yeah.
good, and also like even Republicans are allowed to be on Broadway. That's my tea. Jake?
I mean, yes. I've also sat with this for a little while longer. I do think that it's just a series of unfortunate events. Like, first of all, why are you commenting on Russell Brand's Instagram? Period?
That too.
Why do you follow him? He is a an accused sexual abuser.
Yeah.
First of all, and he's also a conspiracy theorist. So why are you even like commenting and engaging in that content? First of all, especially when you're a public figure. That's my first thing. So she shouldn't have done that. Second of all, why comment that? You know it's a red MAGA hat. You know what that implies. You work probably exclusively with people of color or gay, queer, trans
young
people.
people too. They're
young
all
people.
young.
So it's just like that's just kind of it just is kind of like shitting on. I mean, it's just I don't think that was her intention, but like still, your intention doesn't.
It's not impact. 100%.
It's on your impact, and your impact, obviously, especially on this community. It hurt the community. So why'd you do that? Why did you comment on Russell Brand's Instagram? First of all, can we leave Russell Brand in 2015 or wherever he was
Whatever
last
fucking
relevant?
movies he was
like,
doing. Literally,
right.
I agree.
The last thing I wanted to hear about Russell Brand is the last time I remember even discussing Russell Brand was when that Katy Perry
right
documentary came out, and she got literally divorced over the phone,
Yeah.
and then went on and sang "Firework," "Teenage Dream," and all her iconic numbers. And you are a legend.
Love it.
Per Kitty Cat.
Went in for Alphaba.
And she probably would have
No.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know. Anyways, let me get back to this.
This country has failed us. You know what I'm talking about?
Wig.
Do you know what I'm talking about, that video?
Yes.
I'm sorry not to make light of it, but that video is crazy.
Well, she was just like, I want to study her on American Idol because it was just an experience. Because then she also had that crazy beef with Nicki Minaj.
Right.
So I just really need to
But the gag is
of
Nicole
that.
Scherzinger is an X Factor judge, or was an X Factor
Of course,
judge.
and she stood up when that person sang "The Great." Oh no, but
that's
her.
her.
When she goes,
When
"The
she goes,
greatest love of all."
me and Chesney talk about it all the time because we've dissected this video. She goes like this. She comes out. By the way, it's her like
Student. Mentee.
She starts singing. Her mic is on, by the way, but I guess the monitor's not, so she can't really hear it. And she goes like this. Can't hear herself. Takes his mic, switches them, doesn't return her mic to him.
And so she has one to
She
her
has
mouth and one at
on
her
the
side.
And then he comes in and really just is flustered.
And I love that because he talks about it after he did like podcasts.
Yeah.
We need to get him on the podcast.
I need to know all
I would
about that
love
moment.
to pick his brain.
I've picked apart that moment. Can I say this about the Nicole Scherzinger 2 thing? Sorry, it just popped in my brain. And I know you haven't seen Sunset, but it's odd because a lot of Sunset is about blurring the lines between Norma and Nicole, and they do such a brilliant job of it. And so much of it heightens the material with what just happened. Not in a way that I think it was PR and intentional. I don't think they would have wanted this to happen, but because
I mean, I don't know, but I genuinely think this has really unsecured her Tony win.
Yes,
for
I
this.
agree.
I mean, I still think she might be the front runner, but like when it comes to the Tonys, and I think they talked about this on Las Culturistas, but it's like a group of like 1,000 people.
Right.
And the thing is, these 1,000 people are people in our community, and the majority of them are, I mean, they might have like Republican tendencies, but like,
Sure.
I mean, at the end of the day, if you're in the Broadway community and you're a Republican, that just is.
It sucks for you.
Well, not even Republican. Like, you're Republican, you're conservative, that's one thing. But it's like, if you support Donald Trump, then that's where it just doesn't make sense to me when you're surrounded by theater. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me, period. So, she really has... I agree with you. This is not saying, like, if you were a conservative, you were a Republican, do I think, like, you cannot be on Broadway? No.
Right.
If you support Donald Trump and you'd be on Broadway, I just think that doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
That is genuinely, like, fundamentally doesn't make sense to me, especially when you're, like, in a changing room with queer people, with people of color. It just really doesn't make sense to me. But
the gag is, do you know that sound of hers that went viral on TikTok of her being like, I have so much fucking respect for everyone on Broadway before this whole thing went down to her opening night.
Yeah. And I'm sure she does.
But that's where this whole thing bothers me, because I'm like, if you did, why would you either vote for somebody or promote ideas that don't? All that being said,
it's unbecoming.
I do think Twitter took it a little too far, as it does half the time, and people are like,
well, Twitter is not real life, and we have to keep saying that.
It's true.
I've always said
but
that.
also, like, I think there was a little bit of a witch hunt happening for a second, and she needed to make a public statement. And by the way, she does not have to publicly say who she voted for, because thankfully in this country that is private.
Right.
I think she has every right to say, I don't want to say who I voted for, because I am allowed not to do that, Because sure, maybe that'll appease the Broadway fans, but you don't know how that'll have ripple effects anywhere. Like, she's dealing with so many other things. Like, she does not have to make a public statement about this, and people thinking that she's owed that does kind of piss me off, because I'm like, shout out, I voted for Kamala Harris early in Florida, but like, I don't have to tell you that. You know what I mean? Like, anyway, that's me a drink in.
And I'm not that familiar with her, so I don't know about her allyship to, and also like, I don't know about how she conducts herself other than this one moment, but this one moment definitely was unbecoming, and I think that the statement was a little just like weird and like very vague, and that didn't help with it. I just kind of, I don't feel bad for her, but
she still has a ton of money.
I am just like, girl, what are you doing? Like,
but also,
just don't talk about that
Jake,
kind of stuff.
You have to see it.
I will see it, but
when I tell you,
I'm going to see it on January 12th and see Caroline Bowman.
Oh, she's going to be incredible.
Period.
I'm going to say this about Nicole's performance. I saw the second preview, which might have been the first preview post invited dress. I have never sat in a theater where it's just like I don't have the words to explain what happens when she's on that stage. It is fucking magical.
I need to see it.
And then I think there's a trend happening on Broadway now, and I'm not mad at it, of standing ovations mid-show. There's a lot of standing ovations happening.
Mm-hmm.
Let's fucking go. I love it. It's rare for me lately mid-show to feel a really earned standing ovation. 3 times during Sunset Boulevard did the applause get to such a height that people were like, I have nothing left to do other than get up on my fucking feet. Like, it's just
because
truly...
when talking is not enough, you sing. When singing is not enough, you dance. And when dancing is not enough, you riff.
And then you start a podcast.
It
truly is a once-in-a-lifetime performance that I think... It's just insane. It really is insane. It's insane vocally. It's insane emotionally. It's insane. It's just absolutely ridiculous.
I would love to see it.
Moving
and
on.
shout out to all the other people in the cast other than her. Well, also shout out to her, but also shout out to
the
everyone else.
other members of the company that are working really hard to
And
keep
shout out
that
to
show
Caroline
afloat.
Bowman and Mandy Gonzalez.
Yes, Mandy Gonzalez is on tonight. I tried to convince Jake to go. Tickets are just so expensive.
Tickets are just so expensive right now.
If you want to invite us, we'll go.
And I would after we distract.
I dragged her, but I
actually, we really didn't drag her that hard. We were just like, girl, why'd you do that? I'm sure that's what the producer said too.
Let me get right up in the camera and say this.
And zoom in on his face.
I dragged her. I get it. I dragged her. Where can I get this hat? I get it. It's the best performance I've ever seen in my entire life, and she deserves a Tony.
Now zoom in on me. Do you guys want to hear about my Apple Music replay?
I do.
Okay, well here's...
Did it call you a slur?
He called me a slur.
Mine really did.
Let's just say this. My artist of the month, because they give you one by January through December, it literally went... I don't know why I started with this. Billy Joel was January. Work. February through December. Beyonce. Iconic. Who was yours? Look it up. I have a feeling yours was...
Mine was crazy.
Probably Sabrina, maybe Chapel.
It was pretty gay.
And then we're gonna transition from Apple Music Replay, just letting you know where we're going after this. We're gonna transition into Grammys.
Love it. Oh, I'd love to talk about that.
Wonderful.
Number 1 artist of the year. Say it with me. Ariana Grande.
Oh.
Number 2, Beyonce. Number 3,
wow.
Sabrina Carpenter. Number 4, Chappell Roan. Number 5, Renee Rapp. Beyonce's not surprising to me because I would venture to say between Renaissance and Cowboy Carter.
Renaissance.
Like, Beyonce makes sense. Ariana makes a lot of sense for me. I've lately, and I guess the Wicked Press Tour does have a lot to do with it because I think she's been in the public eye. But I've really been on my Ariana kick lately.
That album is it was snubbed at the Grammys.
She's right there on my wall. It was snubbed at the Grammys. I also just have been going through her older music as well, and I'm just like, amazing. Jason's song. Have you heard that one?
Yeah. Isn't that one written by Jason R. Brown?
Yes. Mama is the best vocalist we have.
She's so good.
She can sing anything.
She's so good.
She's so good. And also I love that she's just a horny little cute girl.
I know, right? And I've always said that about her.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about... First of all, she's snubbed at the Grammys because that album is literally... I think that this year there were 2 put a culture aside, right? And let's think about art, right?
Right.
And often they are often intertwined, and they still are.
Right.
But I'm trying, as an academic exercise, I would just like for you to separate the two for the moment. Okay, so take a beat. Art, right? And art isn't easy.
It's not.
Let's talk about the 2 albums I think this year that tell a story.
Yes.
And I think they're Cowboy Carter, beginning, American Requiem. There's a lot of talking going on. Listen to me. I have something I need to say. All the way to Amen, period, with the Amen chord.
Yeah.
Do, mi, so. Right?
Right.
Of course. The
I'm
triad.
right.
The triad.
I'm
I know
locked
you're
in
understanding
with
what I'm
you.
saying. The commentary on genre, the commentary on being black in America,
Right.
the commentary on being country enough and who owns country music and where the roots are from. Amazing. That's art, period. And culture, but art primarily, in my opinion. Secondarily, period. And am I in shiz? Am I in shiz with these academic words I'm using? Secondarily.
You tell. Let's
don't
ask
know
the
if
audience.
Thank you. Listen, I think the second piece of art that was created this year was Eternal Sunshine. First of all,
agree.
amazing story from the beginning. It tells a story.
Yes.
Bye, bitch, whatever, fuck you, whatever, to I wish I hated you. Are you kidding me?
Woo!
Are you kidding
Well, and also,
me?
like, I know-
Ariana Grande Butera?
I know Twitter's gone off about it, but like this just the fact of it starting with how do I know if I'm in the right relationship to it being her Nona being like this is how you know if you're in the right relationship if you can't.
It's a Saturn interlude.
Yes, it's such a good album, and I think it was gypped for. But I think it was gypped because it was short. I think it was gypped because of the fact that she's doing her own thing with Wicked.
Is she really gonna choke you when she has an Oscar?
And honestly, I think she's like, I'll go down that road. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I think she's like, but it really, it's a shame that it wasn't nominated because I remember the first time I heard those songs. I remember the first time I watched We Can't Be Friends music video. That song, to me, that's her best song that she's ever had. It's not my favorite of hers. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the song that I listen to the most, but it's certainly the song I think that I look at from an outside perspective and go like, wow, it's a pretty incredible song.
So
that
good.
you wrote.
And it has 2 titles, famously. We
Right.
Can't Be Friends. Wait for Your Love.
Wait for your love. My love.
Yeah, she was snubbed. I really don't get why she wasn't nominated.
I also
for
don't
Best
know
Album.
too much about the Grammys are tough for me. I don't because I sometimes don't fully understand the difference between like album to record to artist to new art.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of vernacular that I don't always
It's its own
understand.
language. And the way okay, so I think that I know it, and I'm sure I'll be told if I'm wrong. But album of the year is like the prize. Like
Right,
that
that's
is like
the-
the
that's
prize.
best musical.
And the fact that she wasn't nominated for that is T. Then there's record versus song. I think that song of the year is more about the performance
Okay.
and like the vocalist, and I think record of the year is more about like production and like the songwriting and the lyrics and like that kind of vibe. I think it could be swapped, but one or the other.
That makes sense to me.
But because then there's also like there's the album of the year, and then under album of the year, you know, there's like pop album of the year, and then there's like country album
Because
of the year.
Lost Cults was saying that record of the year should be Espresso?
I think they said song of the year.
Song of the year should be Espresso.
I think they said record of the year might be like Birds of a Feather or something, which I kind of agree because I love Birds of a Feather.
One thing about Billie Eilish that she will do is she'll create a song for the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like her songs tend to last.
Penetrate.
Yes, they
into
penetrate the
monoculture.
culture. Because the gag is like you look at like when did it end and like it still is relevant. You know what I mean? Like that is one of the most important songs I think in history. What else is on your list?
Well, I do have another thing that I want to say that I kind of want to make happen, and I think that if I speak it on this podcast, it could happen because we have a lot of traction on our podcast.
Right.
And we have a lot of followers. I think that, and if you're listening to me, Apple Music, which I think we have a couple people that listen from the Apple Music headquarters in LA.
HQ.
I think we have a couple people that listen. I know Kendrick Lamar is doing the. I know I really took you 180 with that. Kendrick Lamar is doing the halftime show, the Apple Music halftime show at the Super Bowl. I think that he should be an icon and bring out the Wicked cast.
Okay, this is what I said while he was talking to the mic. He said, I think Kendrick Lamar, and I said, look at the women. What the fuck is he talking about? I agree.
Can you imagine Kendrick Lamar was like, and now the Wicked cast,
and they come out with books.
and they come out.
Linda, you are just too good.
If they hadn't already announced Kendrick Lamar, and like I get it, Kendrick Lamar had like a big song this year, Not Like Us, and I love Kendrick Lamar, and I think he's a good rapper.
Right.
I wish that
Well-
the Super Bowl halftime show was Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande, and the cast and company of
What do you
Wicked.
think they're gonna do for the Oscars? They're probably gonna perform
I feel like they have to. You know what they should? I think they have to do like
a medley.
a medley, but yeah, I kind of would love to see maybe like popular. This is tea,
Yeah.
and this is listen, you guys. I think that it might be popular, and then right when like I have to go, she runs away. Instead of keeping on Glinda, it follows Elphaba, and Elphaba goes right into hands touch, eyes meet.
Can I say something really quick about Wicked?
I just gave myself
As I'm a
chills.
drink in, y'all are pissing me off on Twitter. Pissing me off.
Get off Twitter.
I know.
We gotta get on Blue Sky.
We gotta get on Blue Sky.
I'm already on.
The Glinda slander is absurd. First of all, you're not letting the character grow. She's got growth to go through, which is where we have a whole second part of the movie to fucking get to. Second, I don't know where I'm at because y'all are making me mad. People being like, she's just so privileged and doesn't understand her privilege. She's so privileged, she doesn't understand her privilege. Bitch, do you know the first lyrics of Popular are her literally acknowledging her privilege? Quite literally. If you take it at, base level,
Whenever I
see someone less fortunate than I, and let's face it, who isn't less fortunate than I? My tender heart tends to start to believe. None of that is a joke, by the way.
It's earnest.
It's 100% earnest. She is saying, I am incredibly privileged. I am more privileged than everybody here. And they're
speak.
like, so all of you being like, oh, you don't get it.
Get into it.
Here's my other thing. Wicked Part 2 spoiler alert.
Oh, and how do you know?
Whoa.
Oh, just like the famous story.
Yeah, the story of Wicked.
I was like, have
the
you
musical.
seen early screening? Because I wasn't invited.
What people don't understand is that the whole point of the way that this story wraps up at the end is that Glinda does, literally Elphaba says it, quote, she can do all that she couldn't do. She incarcerates Madame Morrible. She gets rid of the wizard. And she decides to take over. And she says to the people, quote, fellow Aussians, ... ellipses, friends, we have been through a frightening time, and there will be other times and other things that frighten us. But if you would let me, I would like to try to help. I would like to try to be Glinda the good. And that is what we call a character arc. So if you don't give her the room to do that, then you don't get literally 50% of the story.
And did you just listen to my bitch work? Did you just listen to my bitch go off?
I hate it.
You are everything to me.
Literally, here's what pisses me off. I do think it's rooted in
You just
misogyny,
spoke.
first of all. But like, it's just like I don't get it. I don't get why people are I also like looking at stories from a single perspective is just silly. You know what I mean?
Because
like,
famously, there are 3 sides to every story. There's your side, there's your side,
and the truth.
the truth. Wait, I said your side twice.
There's your side, and the truth.
Wow, you just spoke
Can
down.
I say something about another show I saw?
What show?
I went to the first preview of Gypsy, starring Audra McDonald. I should say Audra Gypsy. Gypsy being one of my favorite shows of all time. I'm going to say this. I'm not actually going to talk too much about it because what I actually do want to talk about is my pet peeve that's happening on, not Twitter, TikTok. People let previews be previews. You know what I mean?
Like yeah.
Everyone starts going into shows, seeing it in previews, and being like, here's my review, here's my everything. Y'all, we hold so much power with these phones in our hand about getting news out there. Let them cook. You know what I mean? Like, let them work on it and let them.
It's not finished.
It's not finished. Let them work on it. So I saw the first preview. There were a lot of tech problems. I am certain by the time we get to opening night, those tech problems will be fixed. So there's no point in mentioning it other than the fact that they occurred, but that's normal. What I'll say, Audra McDonald, to get to see Audra McDonald play one of the most iconic roles in musical theater was a privilege, and I am forever grateful to have been in the room to have witnessed that happen. It's an interesting take on the character. It's a different take on the character. Vocally, it's obviously...
Sorry.
Don't touch me.
Sorry.
For those of you that are listening on Apple Music or Spotify, Jake just raised my knee. It's a different take, and I'm into it. I love it. I think Danny Bernstein was amazing. Shout out to someone who really stole the show for me, and my queen, who I really want to get on the podcast. If you're listening, please come, Leslie Margarita. Oh, bitch, she was so good.
I would love to have her on the podcast.
Were you a Looks Not Books girl the vlog she did?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Oh,
From
her
Matilda.
yes, her vlog
No.
for Broadway.com was so good. Oh, would you look at that?
My favorite vlog, and this is
Problematic.
problematic because
Princess Diaries.
Princess Diaries. I loved seeing Laura Osnes and Santina Fontana backstage.
I think I've watched Princess Diaries like 3 times through. It's a great
vlog.
And it also makes me so sad about everything that happened because I loved her.
And I also love Fly Girl.
I loved Fly Girl.
Fly Girl.
I have those. Bring that back.
They tried, and they kind of are still. But I really think that is just something that was made for our generation.
Yes. Also, I'll say this. Paul Wontorek, Broadway.com, if you're listening. First of all, if you want to help produce us, we can help you do this. I want campy Broadway.com to come back. You know what I mean? Like
Susan Blackwell.
Can we get Susan Blackwell on the pod?
Oh my God! Can you guys imagine Susan Blackwell sitting
right
here? Can you imagine? I'd be like this. Okay, now tell me your thoughts on this. She would read. I would love
her.
How?
Side
Who
by
do we
side
know? What is she doing? Where is she?
Where is Susan Blackwell?
Do I gotta look it up right now? Oh my God! We're finding it. We're finding
I would love her.
it.
That's what I mean. I need that energy to come back to Broadway.com because I get it. You guys are like a credible news source now, but at the moment, you know who my credible news source is? The Sweaty Oracle.
Oh, well, do you want to? Can I just read?
On this podcast, the Sweaty Oracle is like an MLA citation.
And something else I want to talk to you guys about because we're going through this moment in culture right now where people are being like, if you go to certain spaces and you talk to certain people, i.e. podcasts, are you condoning everything? The same way, like, if I retweet something that someone's tweeted, do I condone everything that that person's ever said? Excuse me while I burp. No. And I love that we're having this discussion as a culture because, for example, like Kamala Harris, like Joe Rogan has the biggest podcast, right?
Right.
And everyone was like, Kamala Harris needs to go on Joe Rogan. Kamala Harris needs to go on Joe Rogan. He has this huge audience of young men. And she didn't, and it ended up being because timing and schedules didn't work because he wouldn't travel for her and she couldn't go spend the day in Texas, work. But there's a whole commentary happening right now, like, well, like if she went on, some people on the left would have been like, I can't believe that she went on, blah blah. Here's the thing: where were we talking about before this?
I don't know, but I'm locked in.
Well, what were we talking about before this? Because I said it for a reason.
Hold my hand.
Who are we talking about?
Sweaty Oracle.
Sweaty Oracle. Listen, do I agree with everything Sweaty Oracle said? Do I agree with the way he carries himself? No, but he might sit here, and if he does, you better not cancel me, and you will listen.
Here's what I'll say about Sweaty Oracle. I agree with most of the only thing I don't like that he does is when he announces Broadway closings most of the time before the cast finds out.
Yeah.
Because to me, honestly, I'm like, you don't need to announce a Broadway closing, period. We'll find out that's not even tea. That's just people losing their jobs. But I get it. He's trying to get likes and views. He should stop doing that on all accounts, whether the cast has found out about it or not. But his opinions on theater, his taste, I should say, not even takes. This is what you guys need to understand. There's a difference between takes and taste. Ooh. You know what I mean, though? You know what I mean?
Get into that tea.
There's a difference between takes and taste. And his takes, I'm not always with, but his taste, I always agree with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and to pivot a little bit and go back where we were, you're really going to choke when I tell you that Susan Blackwell, first of all, has grown her hair out. It's beautiful.
Really?
Second of all, she has her own podcast.
With who?
I don't even know who this woman is.
Oh.
Laura Kameen? Don't know who she is. Co-host of the Sparkfile podcast.
We'd love to meet you. I have a lot of questions for you, Susan
Blackwell. We need to get Susan, and I feel like she would. I just followed her. Okay, well, where are we at here?
What else do you have on your list?
I have just a bunch of random things. Should we just go through the random and hit them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Bang them out.
5, 6, 7, 8. English teacher. I
Great
love
show.
It. Great show. Are you guys watching it? I love it. Brian Jordan Alvarez. And this is going to transition immediately. First of all, I need you. Second of all, we're going to transition seamlessly into what to do to get you off. Taking down my hair like, oh my God. Taking off a shirt, I did that once. Or twice.
Gone.
No, fuck off.
Should we say anything else about that?
I don't think we need to, but I will say we are going to do that TikTok trend, and we're going to post on Latest You Brunch. And I've been doing it in the shower, and I've been thinking about like how I want to do this TikTok. Like, should it be very genuine? Like, what do you do to get you off?
Right.
Or should it be like smiling, like, this is campy and fun?
What's your sentence?
I don't know. My sentence is, what is my sentence?
I think my sentence is.
That just touched me.
Can I tell you what mine is?
Mm.
And then maybe you use it and then give me a delivery. Mine is, wow.
What do you do to get you off? Yeah, that just really took me someplace.
Wow.
See, I was going to say my sentence was going to be similar along the lines of fuck you.
I was gonna say.
And
a
the
good
best
is
sentence
always
Vince
fuck
DeGeorge.
you.
And I think
Vince
Vince DeGeorge does
does
listen
listen.
occasionally. I don't know.
I was gonna
he's
say,
listening
if you
right
are
now.
listening, wow is a bad sentence, but fuck you is a good one.
And if you're not from CCM and you're listening, which I think there's a lot of people that aren't from CCM that are listening,
Mhm.
we had a teacher named Vincent DeGeorge who is everything to me, and he had his own practice, his own method, and it was called the theatrical
I was
awareness
gonna ask what
practice.
it was
Correct,
called.
right?
Yeah, I was gonna ask
Theatrical
you.
awareness practice, and I'm waiting. He's writing a book, and I know it's gonna be it's a culmination of a bunch of things, and I cannot
Mhm.
wait to read it. But basically, a key part of this acting method and practice was distilling everything you're feeling in a scene or in a moment, right? In a
Right.
moment, into a sentence.
I'm just gonna say this. I think we need to refill our drinks.
Let's refill our drinks, and I also
Sorry
have
to cut you off about.
and also
Vince
to people
DeGeorge.
when I come, anyways.
When I get back,
when I
y'all are
come-
gonna lock in.
When I come back, guys, go pee. But then when I come back, I need y'all to lock in because I'm about to go off.
Yeah.
I just dropped my Cartier bracelet into the toilet. That's what just happened to me.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to tell us? Do you want to expand?
No, I don't. I was going in there. I was like, it's hot in here, so I took my
Shirt off?
quarter. No.
Oh, I don't know.
Crazy. That's on our Patreon. I took off my quarter zip and my bracelet went oop, and all Sammy heard was this,
It sounded like a dookie fell in the toilet.
and I screamed bloody murder.
But I was confused because he had already flushed. So I said,
I wasn't duking. I was just pee-peeing.
"Did you? What did Megan Stalter say in her stand-up special where she's like, was that pee worth it or did you shit that fast?"
Did you go pee? Was it pee worth it, or did you shit that fast? We need to get her on the podcast.
We need to get her.
I would
we
love
won't.
this. I would love because I feel like she has no idea what's happening in musical theater. That would be so funny.
Do you want to finish wrapping up about the theatrical awareness practice?
Not really. But
Okay.
essentially, all I was trying to
Well,
say.
I think if you're watching us online, you'll know by this is all you need to know about it.
Yes. So basically, what I was saying, there's a theatrical awareness practice that I subscribe to fundamentally, and there's the key part of it
I
is.
kind of do too, by the way.
Dude, I'm not kidding. That's like what I would use when that's the acting method I use. And shout out to Vincent George for that shit. You better work.
I would say I use him and Richard Hess's class the most. Richard Hess in terms of like how to carry yourself in rehearsal and a show.
Right.
You know, like in terms of like how to be a malleable actor, Richard Hess's class for me.
Yeah, he did teach to take a note very well.
You know what I mean? Like because he kind of talked about all the time. He was like, I'm not an acting teacher. I'm a director. You know what I mean? And he'd be like, my thing is teaching you how to be a good actor.
How to be in the room.
And that he kind of taught me. I will say there were a lot of times in Frozen, you know, doing the show so often that there was one time that I was like, when you're really checked out, and I was like, where's my occipital bone? This is part of the theatrical awareness project. And I was like, practice.
Because
sorry.
famously, we would lie on the floor and we would roll and we would
Right.
find our body
Big red ball
on the floor, and then we would stand up, and then we would take the text that we were given and we would separate them by moments, correct? And then we would find the moment, we would distill everything down to a sentence. And more often than not, the sentence that you were saying
was fuck you.
Fuck you, or it was
I love you.
I love you, or it was fuck me.
Right. Honestly.
Because and acting really does come down to I hate you, I want to be you, that's the same thing, / I need you, / fuck me.
I would find the occipital bone when I was waiting as a guard all the time, and I'd be like, there's my skull, there's my body, there's my skeleton, and that's like kind of your base for it. But also, my sentence for all of my lines for Fixer Upper, if I had them, were fuck you or I love you. And they were always, is this like a girly bad guy maybe throwing you off track there? That was I love you. All that he's socially impaired was fuck you. You know what I mean? Like
It all comes down
all
to I
comes back
love
to
you
it.
or fuck you, man. Anyways,
should we move on to I'll drink to that?
yeah, because I think I might have one or two.
I have one.
I definitely have
This
one.
is a segment that's exclusive to the Ladies Who Brunch podcast.
Speak on
where
it.
we talk about what we're gagging and choking over this week. Can I start mine?
Uh-huh.
Mine is a TikTok and also a concept.
Okay.
Earth-shattering, I know. Basically, Kristen Chenoweth recently posted a TikTok of her teaching the viewer how to make Kringle cookies. You know, those types
Oh.
of cookies that is essentially taking a cake mix and mixing it with Cool Whip and putting them in the oven.
No.
We need a Kristen Chenoweth cooking show. For you real fans that have been here since the beginning, not here the Ladies Who Brunch, I mean on the Kristen Chenoweth Love Train. The Kristen Chenoweth Love Train, good title of ep. But if you've been there since the beginning, you know she used to go on Facebook and teach you how to make things cooking-wise. Now, hold on. None of these take actual skill. There's a video I used to watch of her all the time of her teaching you how to make a Caesar salad, which involved her opening a bagged mix of salad, taking dressing out, mixing it, shaking it with a plate, and adding croutons. And going like this. Well, don't you see it? It's amazing.
She's not utilized enough in culture and in the world.
And I'm glad she's having she's not having as big of a resurgence as like Patty is with Agatha all along, but I'm glad she's out there. Oh, can I go back about something?
Go.
One of my thoughts on recasting for Sunset Boulevard that I actually think would be great, and hear me out for a second. I know she's busy doing Redwood this season, is Idina Menzel. I think Idina Menzel would be amazing. And here's the thing that made me think about it. Her kind of being a little awkward on the press tour for Wicked, being like, I think I should have still played Elphaba, is so Norma Desmond coded of her like wanting to relive her glory days, and she would be amazing. She would be. Imagine her in that slip. Oh, she'd be so good.
She would be good.
But my drink to that is Kristen Chenoweth cooking in general.
It's her renaissance, honestly.
Yeah. But also,
I hope this starts her renaissance.
The TikTok in particular is her making cookies, and then she goes like this every time she wants her husband to cut. She goes, cut. Cut.
That sounds like me to you. Cut this.
Cut.
Us to Nate. Cut this.
Cut.
And then zoom in here.
Cut. Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah, I agree that she's not utilized enough, and that's another thing I want to say about Kristen Chenoweth is, have you guys seen the iconic movie You Again?
Mm-hmm.
That is my favorite movie. Eli knows. This is like a movie that I love to watch when I'm sick.
It's a great
when I'm
movie.
bored. It's just such a good movie with Kristen Bell, Idina Menzel.
Not Idina. That's Frozen, babe.
Sorry, that is Frozen. Kristen Bell, Kristen Chenoweth.
Yes.
Wow, two Kristens.
Betty
Sigourney
White.
Weaver, Betty White, Ryan Reynolds. No, not
Mandy
Ryan
Moore,
Reynolds.
Mandy
I'm taking
Moore.
that back. Who's the guy in You Again? That's so sexy.
Isn't it Mandy Moore also as the bride?
No, that's Kristen Chenoweth.
No.
Oh wait, the sister.
Yes.
No, it's not Mandy Moore.
I think it's Mandy Moore. I have a clear image of Mandy Moore eating Oreos.
James Wolk. Don't know who he is. It's not Mandy Moore. It's Ordette Annabelle.
No, show me.
Jamie Lee Curtis. How could we forget about her?
Ordette Annabelle.
I don't know who she is or anything else she's been in. But this guy is who I'm talking about. Nate, put up a picture of James Wolk.
Wait, give me the cast again. Give me the cast list. Oh, yeah, he's so
This
hot.
movie, get into it, y'all.
What do y'all know about Jenna Lee Green, who played Heather? I'll tell you about Jenna Lee Green. She played Libby on Sabrina the Teenage Witch with Melissa Joan Hart, the ABC series. Did you ever watch that?
No.
Wow. That's...
Not my recently viewed being...
But also she was one of the original Nessa Roses in Wicked and was an Elphaba understudy, mostly on tour and in the Chicago company. Trust me, I gagged because I was Sabrina the Teenage Witch kid, and then when I saw the Wicked tour B-roll and I saw Jenna Lee Green in that wheelchair with the striped socks, I was gagged.
Kristen Chenoweth with that movie is so good. As Georgia King, I'm going to teach you to dance. And when she teaches them to dance,
She's so good!
She's so good. Get her into more things.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was your all drink to that. Okay, so I have a list of a couple I'll drink to that. Also, our doorbell just rang, so someone's coming. We don't know who it is.
If there was a weird cut, I'm sorry, our doorbell rang.
It's okay.
Ours, because we still live together.
I live there. I sleep right next to you. My bedside is the left-hand side. Listen, my all drink to that is Ali Mozzie's Popular. So funny. There's a part where she's singing No One Mourns the Wicked at the beginning. Bye, you and I. And the guy goes, Galinda, just how dead is she? And she goes, uh-huh.
Can I tell you my favorite Ali Mozzie beat?
What?
Not to steal your all drink to that.
No, please, go
when
on.
When she's incarcerating Madame Morrible to bring it full circle, she does this verbatim.
So
because I've been on my Ali Mozzie kick lately,
She's so
too.
good.
She goes, I'm doing it physically. Madam, have you ever considered how you'd fare in captivity? Prison.
And she's picking something out of her eye. No,
it's
she's
brilliant.
Her Popular's so good, too, when she goes like this.
Yes. When she does the heel stretch.
Yes. And then she whispers yes. That's my first I'll drink to that and my main I'll drink to that. But a couple other things I just want to touch on real quick. Stop doing handstands at the gym. I think it's pretentious and annoying. I fucking hate that. There's one guy at my gym that does the handstands all the time. Please stop doing that. I don't like it.
Everyone stand up. Everyone stand up. I want a round of applause. Everyone.
Don't you agree?
Yes! Stop!
And this is not, and I know doesn't listen to this. The guy I went to school with, you used to, and also he used to do both of them used to do Hamilton
Oh,
Live.
look who
I'm
it
not
is.
reading. She's arrived. Come on in.
Come on in.
Oh, you look amazing.
amazing.
Do you have something you want to say? What's your all drink to that? We're on all drink to that right now. We're about to finish. Come on in. What do you have to say? My all drink to that was I was just saying stop doing handstands at the gym. It's annoying.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him do it.
Oh, we were talking about yeah. I used to do it a lot too, but now I'm not reading them that hard. I'm just being like, stop doing it.
We said it already.
Cut
too.
me out of this. So my I'll drink to that
We're not cutting you out of
is
this, by the way. So whatever you say is going to be aired.
Forever.
my I'll drink to that is Cyber Monday. I got a lot
Oh.
of great deals.
Oh my God, what did you order? Tell us one thing.
I went a little crazy on the TikTok shop.
Were there Cyber Monday deals on TikTok Shop?
Let me take off my jacket. I'm a little
Yeah,
Yeah.
why don't you get some? Oh, Jesus Christ! She just knocked her. She passes out. I hope you're okay. Hey, we're drinking.
Champagne.
We're drinking. No,
Yeah, I mean, there's some in there. I think we might have finished the bottle, but we'll go get it. We'll do a happy hour.
We'll do a happy
By
hour.
the way, for listeners listening,
Chesney's
on,
arrived.
Chesney's, you're looking amazing. by
She's
the way.
looking like Sandy Dombrowski.
Yeah, I've got
After.
chills.
Hey, let's be quiet. We're on the podcast. Let's stop throwing our shoes. Okay, she's coming back. Oh, here she comes.
Here she is.
I forgot my phone.
Oh, let her get her
Oh,
phone.
let her get her
We do
phone.
have to finish the podcast in the next like 5 minutes. So whatever you have to say and
Say
do,
it
let's do
now.
it quick. Okay, here she comes. Oop, I love the jeans.
I love
So
it. I
you're
love
all
the
drink to
beat.
that. I love the beat.
My I'll drink to that is Cyber Monday. I'll tell you what I got on the TikTok shop.
You smell good too.
I got 2 scarves in blue and white. They're big chunky scarves. I got a little vest, a big chunky vest. It's white. I got some little gloves. I got
Winter chic.
I'm going winter chic. I got a little 2025 calendar that gives you ideas for every single month, things that you can do in that month to keep yourself busy.
That's good.
Because you're not busy enough.
You guys look cute.
Thank you.
We all start making.
What do you think about my winter chic?
I think it's great.
We-
And I
did
got
you
a
not-
lot of other little chinky dinky.
I said we all start making out
dance.
challenger style.
Yeah,
Okay.
kiss my
Hey,
butt.
that would never happen. Okay,
Yeah,
should we finish
never.
this up?
Um,
Wait, I think I had one more
Oh,
I'll
yeah,
drink to that
please.
that I wanted to speak of. And I'll make it very quick. Oh, yes, 2 things, actually. One, RuPaul's songs are good. RuPaul's songs are good.
I agree.
My last thing, I need Noah Beck. I need
Do you know what's my favorite RuPaul song?
ASMR Lover?
Nah, nah, honey,
Ma'am.
I'm good.
Anyways, do you guys agree
I
that
agree.
those songs are good? And also, do you agree that you need Noah Beck? I know
yes,
you do.
I agree to both those things.
I need Nicolas Chavez more.
Did you hear what I was saying? I think, you know how Las Culturistas end every episode with a song? I think we need to figure out like a sign off. Not right now, but like I think by next week we'll have like something that happens consistently. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll find that. in
I
the
think
work.
it maybe should be like a reading of our favorite lyrics of the Ladies Who Lunch. Everybody rise. Let's say.
Everybody. I don't know
it's
if
just
I
not.
like
It's
that.
not fitting. What?
I don't want you to just sing.
Because that's what Las Colts do. I don't want to copy them.
We don't have to sing, but we can just leave you with a piece of advice.
A piece of advice. That's good.
Okay, here's
Should
my
we
advice.
say it at the same time though?
But I don't know what it is. So maybe
no,
you give.
We do. We do.
We
What
do.
On 3.
1, 2, 3.
Stop
Stop being
being
so weird and mean.
Stop being so weird. Stop
being so weird and mean. Just love,
Just love
on each other.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.